I'm going to bring on the Juicy Marbles team, Tillin, Vlad, and Mai. All of you, thank you for being here with me today. I'm wondering if you could share your business perspective about what's really driving you here. Is it that desire for change, or is it the enormous monetary potential here with a product like plant-based steak?
Imagine answering it's the massive monetary opportunity. Just imagine this conversation.
But hold on, come on, that's a big part of it, as you know.
Internet. We want the internet money.
Cha-ching.
No, obviously, you know, it's really poetry in life when you create value externally and also for yourself, right? So I think all of us are impact driven. You know, we can go into a very philosophical selfishness discussions about, you know, that there's always present, but I don't think that's necessary. You know, we really want to help aid change the food system for the better and the food culture, right? It's not just the food system, obviously, with its whole faults and, you know, animal agriculture being obviously very ineffective in feeding the world. It's also the food culture is taking quite the hit since, I don't know, since the fridge got invented or something. You know, now we have all these gray goo startups telling you don't even have to eat, you can just drink nutrients. So we really also want to champion the pleasure of food and what the ritual of food brings about, also, you know, also as a most intimate, sacred ritual that you can perform for yourself and for others, right? The primal one that is kind of slipping away from our culture. So that's one aspect. And obviously, you know, the very talked about is, and why we started with beef, is the inefficiencies of the food system. You know, beef alone taking 60% of all agricultural land while providing 2% of world's calories, and many more data like this that just makes it seem like this is not working, right? So this is not even necessarily an ethical question if people care about animals and stuff like that, which I think they should, but you know, it's really a humanitarian issue as well. So maybe that's one of the things that's not even talked about that much, you know, right? That basically out of 780 million people who are under the poverty line, most of them are the people who produce the food. And that's because we distribute crops so unevenly, because we have to feed the cows, they need to feed, you know, the wealthy West and so forth. So there's so much to be done in the food industry. And, you know, we're not, by the way, you know, we're not here saving the world. You know, we're doing a little part. We want to have as big as impact as we can have. And we see plant meat analogs will play a major role in hopefully developing a let's say, livable future.
I struggle the most when I have good friends who are not vegan, or even parents or family, you know, struggle with what they can do, what they can cook for me or for my family that will appear a decent meat substitute to them, but will still be plant-based. So that's one of the challenges, is this unifying effect such a product can have, because you can sit down as a, let's say, an unsplit family again, and, you know, don't have to sacrifice you being a vegan in the case of or myself, you know, going into like semi-conflict of what I'm feeding to my kids with my parents.
He just wants his friends back.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention that. I mean, part of the beauty of this is, and I'll throw up a picture here in a minute, is the steaks arrive not technically raw, but your experience with it is as if you were receiving a raw product. So I had a conversation with an advisor of yours, Ron, the other day about, is it raw? Is it not raw? So it has been pre-cooked, and that's why you can ship it shelf stable. Once you open the package, you have to cook it within about a week, I think. But generally, you would consider it shelf stable. But your experience with it is that you would cook it up just like any chef prepares their meat, salt and thyme and sage, whatever you want to do with your meat, so that the cooking experience is still there, so that you can have that communal experience like Vlad was talking about, of, you know, making food for yourself and making it something special that only you would create, but also as you share and give to others. I mean, food is that ultimate connector, right? We all come together over food, which is why it's been a pity to riff off of what Tillin has said, to feel that there's a little bit of divide sometimes if you come to the table as a plant-based person and then everyone sees this as a schism between the group, which obviously it doesn't have to be.